Sexuality education is a really important way of addressing young people's sexual health. Good quality schools-based sexuality education has been shown to reduce rates of unsafe sex, to reduce sexually transmitted infections, and to reduce unplanned pregnancies. Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs as we often call them, are bacteria and viruses that are transmitted during sexual contact. Although you can contract a sexually transmitted infection through any sort of sexual contact, it's most commonly transmitted through vaginal sex without a condom or anal sex without a condom. The most common infection that we're concerned about in young people today is chlamydia. Chlamydia affects at least 1 in 20 young people. Chlamydia is easily detectable through a urine or a swab test through any doctor, and it's easily treated with a single dose of antibiotics. But the problem is that most young people don't go and access testing, and so they don't know they have infections. The best way for young people to protect themselves against sexually transmitted infections is through consistent condom use. And we know that most people do use condoms, but surveys show that young people do sometimes find it difficult to access condoms. And so one of the important things that sexuality education programs can do is role play and talk through how a young person might go about accessing condoms. So schools-based sexuality education has been proven to be a highly effective way of improving the sexual health of young people. It's been shown to reduce rates of sexually transmitted infections and reduce unplanned pregnancy, and can delay the age of onset of sexual activity. It's also about providing young people with the skills to take power of their choices that they make, to decide when and where they have sex, and to access the effective means of prevention, particularly condoms. New South Wales Health has a website called the PlaySafe website. The PlaySafe website is orientated towards young people and is an easy source of information, including even a question and answer Nurse Nettie, where young people can pose questions and receive an answer from a real person anonymously. Because most infections have no symptoms, it's important that young people do go and seek out testing regularly. So the guidelines currently recommend that all young people get tested every year, and more frequent testing is recommended if they've had a change of partner or are worried about having an infection. Most people today can be tested with either a simple urine sample or a self-collected swab. There's no need to get undressed. It's important to send that message to young people that testing is easy to do, it's painless, and there are many services where they can go to access that. Testing is generally free. Most GPs will bulk bill people under Medicare, and testing is always covered by Medicare at no charge to the patient. The best way to deliver sexual education is through empowering messages about helping young people to make healthy choices, to access testing, and to access condoms. Surprisingly, scare tactics tend not to work. It's far better for positive messages to come out rather than showing gory pictures and other things that really are not most people's experience of sexual health. The majority of sexually transmitted infections are actually completely asymptomatic, and it is important that accurate information is portrayed. One activity that's been shown to be really helpful in education is to role play how a young person might negotiate safe sex. It's one thing to give someone the knowledge that condoms help, but it's a completely other thing to give them the skills required to negotiate the use of that condom at the time they're having sex. So there's quite a diverse range of sexual experiences, and it's important to recognise that diversity in both age of sex and also the sex of sexual identity of the students, and recognise that many students will have same-sex attraction feelings. The majority of school-age people are not sexually active. It's important that that is recognised and that people are empowered to make decisions about when they want to begin to become sexually active. As a doctor, I'm often called upon to talk to young people about sexual health, and that's of course important, but often under-recognised is the role that teachers play. So schools-based education delivered by teachers in schools has been proven to be highly effective. Teachers are often best placed to deliver sexual education, as it really builds on the teaching skills that teachers have to deliver a specialised topic area by drawing on external sources of information.